YNW Melly almost had new problems. So apparently, remember that guy Robert Allen? Yeah, he snitched on all of his friends concerning the XXXTentacion situation. Yep, he wanted to snitch here too. BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, remember XX, rest in peace to XXXTentacion. So everybody that remembers this absolutely incredible musician, he had his own sound. He had lost his life due to some individuals that decided that they wanted to rob him. He didn't want to give up his things. And the individual that was a part of that situation, that was actually the driver, not one of the shooters, told on everyone that he was involved in the situation with. And just so we could be clear, he also wanted to tell on YNW Melly. Okay. Now, I don't got like a crap load of information on this. I just caught wind of this. As soon as I caught wind of this, I tried to look up on stuff. There's not much stuff out there. So I just wanted to just give y'all my feedback on this. And also for y'all to know that this is the thing that's out there. So you might want to go look into it. And if you find out any information, please pull up into our chat down here below and let me know. But I will say this, and this is the part that I wanted to say. Y'all guys are always out here, and when I say y'all guys, obviously I'm not talking about every individual. I'm just trying to explain why we need to stop committing some of these acts of heinous criminality, because all it does is put us in a situation where now we share fate with an individual that we don't really truly know. And I think that that's something that should start backing people up off of crimes. Not the fact that, because remember, I just want to be clear on this. When this dude first told on the guys that he was with, everybody was like, yeah, he told because y'all split all the money. I ain't give him no money. There was people literally saying that makes good reason why he told. Now we're paying attention to this situation, and I want to be clear about this. Be clear. I want to be clear. YNW Melly, as far as we know, didn't withhold any money from him. So there's no reason why he would want to snitch on him. That's one. Two, I find this pretty interesting. How in the hell was he talking about he's going to snitch on YNW Melly? Like, what does he know that can help with this particular situation? That's another thing. Second thing, is he just trying to be a jailhouse snitch? You know those guys that, you know, they don't really have any information, but they're willing to go and lie on the stand? Because if that's the case, then you know what? Somebody might be able to go and get an appeal, quite possibly, if the DA is constantly putting people on the stand.
No longer recall said, "You write well, Cavario. You could be a writer." I remember sneering and remarking, "A writer? I'm going to be a gangster." I remember thinking that I had chosen the game, but I survived long enough to understand that the game had chosen me long before I even knew what choice was. Long before I understood that the choices we make sometimes lead to circumstances that leave no choices at all. Long before I knew the world was filled with infinite possibilities. Bullshit yourself and the world will play along. We're taught this long before we can identify our true selves. But even before that mentality is uploaded into our psyches, we, as children, operate on simplistic interpretation. This is what makes us more likely to do what the adults in our lives do rather than what they say. My people never wanted me to be in the street, but everything in my home and everything in my community dictated otherwise. And as psychologists will often argue whether nature or nurture is the cause of our behaviors, I've come to suspect that it's a bit of both. If that's so, then the likelihood of my becoming who and what I became was as sure as the earth on its axis. Although I ended up bringing something uniquely my own into existence, as I was nurtured in a setting replete with criminal inclination, I often too felt the influences of my parents' innate makeup heavily affecting my actions. This exposure hardened me and prepped me for what would become my future. Consciously, I knew nothing of the interaction between my genes and my world, but I held my elders in the highest regard. Theirs was a criminal dynasty, cold, mean, and unflinching, and they bared no weaknesses, or at least none that were visible to my young eyes. Growing up in the 70s gave me the opportunity to witness the end of an era. It is a time that will never be repeated, a time through which I was afforded the knowledge of the unwritten handbook. The pictures on the pages of our invisible manual bore images of fierce flights and frivolous fancies, and I looked forward to growing up and taking my place in this gritty landscape. Like most children, I thought my home was indicative of all homes. I thought that everyone witnessed hundreds of thousands of dollars being counted by their parents on an almost daily basis. I thought everyone found 100-round spitting .45 caliber Thompson submachine guns in their mother's bedroom closet. Thus, by the age of 9, I believed that I was genetically engineered for the life of a gangster. And at this point, I have forgotten more about the game of death than most have had the time or opportunity to learn before their time is up and their opportunities are no more. Who am I? I am the son of my Harlem-born gangster-to-a-heart mother and the genetic product of my Harlem-born killer without a heart father. I am the result of confusion and anger and the byproduct of deceit and greed. I am 100% guerrilla hustler. And the term guerrilla hustler is a term that I coined specifically to express the unique condition of what made me and how I operated. I didn't want it to be confused with hustler, like rap, you made it, or gangster, like rap made it. There's no A on the end of my gangster. There's no A.
That's G-E-R.
Yes, the E-R. You understand?
Yes,
Like,
sir.
raised by wolves, get that. All right?